It's television's most exciting acronym.
So what does NCIS stand for again, Todd?
I knew someone was... I actually did. All of the cast members are like, you remember you got to learn what NCIS stands for.
And it stands for Naval Criminal Investigative Service. It's graced our screens for the last 20 years with spin-offs set in LA, Hawaii and New Orleans, and more than 1,000 episodes combined. Now NCIS Sydney is here, not just set in the harbour city, but filmed right on that harbour too.
It's incredible, honestly.
Who knew this was here?
I know. Well, actually, I don't know if you know the history on this particular site, but we only clinched this location a few weeks before we started shooting. But ironically, when you have sets, you never get locations like this. I remember even our DOPs and our directors were like, the fact that we can shoot in our office, pan out onto the ocean, and then the Sydney Harbour Bridge is literally just at the end of the wharf. So it's essentially an ex-naval mess hall, and because NCIS and AFP create a new investigative department...
NCIS Sydney. It has got a certain ring to it.
They have turned this old mess hall, hence the murals, etc., into our new sort of makeshift HQ.
But it looks like it really was a mess hall and that it's from years ago and those murals look a bit distressed.
Unbelievable.
And the boards, it's incredible.
I walked in, I'm not joking, I'm not just saying this. I walked in and I stared at that mural and I was like, that is incredible that they already had a naval mural here where we're shooting.
I would have said the same thing.
No, it's literally, but they've literally painted it, broken it down, rusted it up.
Tell me you're not a little excited to be working together.
I barely know you. This is where I do all of my investigating.
Investigating, yeah.
Investigative work.
So, your character, tell me a bit about it.
This is me. So I play Sergeant Jim Dempsey. Oh, here's some actually...
Oh, that's a script.
Yeah, these are called sides.
Find out what's going on.
Show you, but... Yeah, so these are sides. I actually forgot that these were there. I've got notes in here and sometimes I store my... I've got a few more extra little scripts in there.
Little scripts in there,
that I like to review
enough.
before we roll up sometimes.
And tell us about... JD, you get called, don't you?
JD.
Sergeant.
Just call me JD.
Sergeant.
He's a little bit of a country boy. And he was an ex-school teacher, actually, and then he joins the AFP.
So you've got a couple of NCIS US officers who come and join you.
You got freedom. Welcome to Australia.
How do they come to be? What happened?
A US sailor collapses into the harbour, dies, and then an investigation ensues. But because it's federal police jurisdiction, there's a little bit of a clash because we have the NCIS team who have... Yes,
so do the Americans investigate or do the Australians investigate? You end up doing it together.
I don't even like you.
Sure you do.
You mentioned there's a bit of a clash between the Americans and the Australians.
Yes.
And one thing on which I've been to America a lot, and I see this a lot, unfortunately, and it is a subject of some friction between Americans and Australians, and that is coffee. So if you're working in an office and you've got Americans and Australians, I notice over here you seem to have every coffee situation covered. Can we have a look at this?
Yes. What I love about the show and what the show's always done so successfully is that kind of light humour. And with the Australian sort of US teams joining together, they've introduced all these beautiful little nuances between like Australia, who's better, there's a competition. So we have basically a coffee head-to-head clash.
What's this?
So this is Doc Roy's specialist, coffee system. So
old school.
He likes the old school high end, but yeah, it's a bit of a contention through the series who's got the better coffee.
I love it.
This massive set has it all, including the perfect place to bring a bit of death to life.
Well, I found another exciting bit of the set. This is, of course, Doc Roy's pathology lab, and here's his little trolley with all his, bits and pieces for... And this is, of course, pretend made to look like it's a body bag and there's a body in it, but of course, you wouldn't really have anything like that in here right now. So it feels to me like we're heading into a bit of a lab.
Yes. So this is Blue Gleason's lab.
Where's McNamara?
Did his ACL playing touch. Blue here's with the AFP Forensic Outreach Program, so she's going to tag along for the next few weeks till he's back on deck. Again, built from scratch. Nothing was here before. You can try them on. There you go, X-ray. She's played by Mavoni Hazel. She's kind of our tech wizard, so she comes here and analyses data and hacks phones and satellites.
She's got a light-up table.
She's got beautiful down light, what is it? Low light?
Low light, up
which is
light.
really good for the actors
It's really
it's an
flattering.
early morning. Really flattering, that's the key.
That's what we want.
But
A little
they-
bit of this at Studio 10 would be nice.
Yeah, again, all fake murals. Like it
It's
looks like it's all
incredible,
crap.
but real ships and real events.
Yep, every vial, like down here even, is filled with some kind of liquid potion.
Has Paul Hogan been to visit? What's the Crocodile Dundee? over
Yeah,
here?
he's going to be a huge guest
He's
star
a huge
throughout
guest
the
star,
series.
Hey, Pete, stop right there.
Is there a lot of action? Do you get to do a bit of stunt stuff?
It's my dream. Honestly, it is my dream role. We've been working with the Navy. We've been on their aircraft carriers, or our version of our aircraft carriers, in their Seahawk helicopters, on their destroyers. We've been on their naval bases. We've got approved from the government to work with the Navy. All of our Navy extras are serving Navy personnel. No one's fake. There's no fake uniforms. We literally brought in, I think, hundreds of Navy personnel to work with it. I'm so pumped about it, honestly. I don't think I've been this excited about a series for a long time. And that's genuine. You know, you're usually like, oh, you shoot the series and you're happy, but I think this is going to be something else.
Come on, partner. Beer's on me.